Hey everyone! So it turns out I forgot a book in my wrap up of January and December because it was a book that I borrowed from my brother and I had already returned it to him. So yeah, I kind of forgot all about it, but I thought I would make a separate video about it because I did really like the book. The book is Star Wars: A New Dawn and it's by John Jackson Miller. This is the first official canon book in the Star Wars series because Disney, they took over Star Wars, as you might know. You probably know if you clicked on this video. And Disney decided that all of the books about Star Wars that were written until now is now basically fanfiction. And this is the first official canon book. Personally, I think I'm going to do the Star Trek approach, which they did with the new movies, and just see it as two different timelines, and all the books are one timeline and everything that they think of next will be the other timeline. I think it's ridiculous to suddenly stop reading the older books because they're not officially canon anymore. I've read a few of them. My brother's read a lot of them and he says they're great, and the ones that I've read were great. So yeah. That's my opinion on the whole business. Let me know what you think about this whole canon and non-canon business of the books down below. Anyway, A New Dawn is a book that ties in with the Rebels series, the Star Wars Rebels cartoon that's airing currently. I'm watching that cartoon and I think it's really good. It took me a little while to get used to the animation style, but once I did, I thought it was really great. I love that even in the first episode there was already character-based humor, so you really got to know the characters really fast and you cared about the characters really fast, or at least I did. And I think they did that really well, because some series, it just takes a while before you get invested in the characters and in the series. And I thought this series did it really well. I thought Star Wars Rebels so far is really good. This book basically tells you the story about how Kanan and Hera met. Now in the series they are already friends. You can see that they kind of have a special bond outside of the rest of the crew, so it didn't surprise me that they were the first two to meet of the crew. I hope that other books will show up that show us how they met all the others. I think there will be. Basically, Kanan is working in a mining factory on the moon of a mining planet, and the Emperor, no, not the Emperor, the Empire shows up. There's a Star Destroyer, and there is this inspector who wants them to work way harder than they have worked before. So hard, in fact, that's basically impossible. And Hera is there because she has an informant who's going to give her information on how the Empire gathers information on people, and they kind of just stumble together. This sort of inspector type person, he's not really an inspector, but he is there to see how things are going, and he wants everything to work more efficiently. He's called Vidian, and he's basically more droid than human. He's basically a legend businessman. But he turns out to be totally evil, of course. And he cares only about himself, and he doesn't really care about the Empire. It's just, he cares about his own means, and he wants to help himself more than anything else. And I really like that the bad character, the antagonist, that he wasn't a Sith or anything. He was just sort of human. He was more droid than human. And I really liked how Kanan and Hera didn't really like each other at first, or Kanan liked Hera, but Hera didn't like Kanan that much. And it was just really interesting to see what they thought of each other, and how Kanan behaved before he joined the Rebels. And I don't really want to say too much about it without giving everything away, but I did really love this book, and I do recommend it. It was a really fast read. Sometimes, personally, I think that some Star Wars books tend to have some boring bits, but this one, even though it isn't the most exciting location, I mean it's a mining planet, it wasn't boring anywhere. Not to say that Star Wars books are boring, but sometimes, you know, it gets a bit technical, or they kind of yammer on about something that I'm not really interested in. And this book didn't really have that. It was fast-paced and had action and mystery, and I just really liked it. So if you like Star Wars, or if you've never read a Star Wars book before, this is a good place to start. I was always curious to know what happened, you know, right after the Empire was built, and how the people kind of dealt with that transition, and this gives a little glimpse in that universe. So when I watched the video back, I realized that I completely forgot to talk about something that I really want to talk about, which is why I'm dressed completely different. It's actually like a month later now, so I haven't had the time yet to sit down, or actually I forgot to sit down and film this, but let's get to it. Basically, what I really noticed in the book is that they kind of lay it on thick, actually. There are a lot more female characters in the book. Of course you have Hera, but also like characters that could have been male or female, normally would have been male, and now a lot of them were female. A lot of people in power were female, and especially if you look at the movies, especially the original old movies, it's basically a dude fest. There's dudes everywhere, and there are hardly any girls at all, which, I don't know, maybe it was the time that the movie was made, maybe it was more normal for there to be guys, because it was kind of an army, I guess, on, you know, on the ships and everything, but it was really noticeable that it was mostly guys. I mean, try to cosplay something as a girl without gender bending, and you'll see you don't have a lot of options. Anyway, I'm not hating on the old movies or anything, but I did really notice that they took a lot of effort, I think, into making it a bit more equal, just by, you know, it doesn't really matter if a character is a boy or a girl. Most of the time, the character stays the same, and especially if it's a bit minor characters, and I really like that they took the effort to make more of them female, because it is nice as a girl to read a book and see that there are girls in there and it's not just guys. And I bet that guys like it too, that they're that it's more equal, that there's a more balance in the ratio of guys and the ratio of girls. And also, which I also noticed might be coincidence or something, but also a bit more equal in terms of race, especially if you also watch the series. There are more people with color in it, Asian and black, dark-skinned, green-skinned. There are more aliens in it as well, because if you look at the movies, aside from Chewbacca, that basically, you know, there are some minor characters, of course, who are aliens, but I thought it was really interesting that more main characters were aliens now, and that you see more aliens and different kinds of aliens, especially in the series, of course, but you read about them as well in the books. I just thought it was really interesting, and basically good job that you made it a bit more equal than just white guys. Yeah, I kind of want to talk about that. So yeah, I didn't really want to leave that point out, because I did want to talk about it, but I completely forgot, which is pretty bad. Let me know what you thought about this aspect, if you noticed, if it kind of annoyed you, because my brother said that he kind of thought they laid it on a bit thick. He doesn't mind that they're girls, but it's like, I noticed as well that stormtroopers came in and they mentioned like 2 of them were guys and 1 of them was a girl. Normally you wouldn't really mention that, like who cares? Stormtroopers came in and you have to run. You're not gonna pause and describe that 1 of them is a girl or 2 of them are boys. But aside from that, I really appreciated it and I liked it a lot. So yeah, I'll go give the floor back to my old self to say goodbye. If you've read this book, let me know what you think, and if you haven't, do you want to read this book? Also, how excited are you for the new Star Wars film? I hope it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see it in the cinema, and I'm probably gonna watch it like 5 or 6 times. I hope it's as good as the Star Trek movies. I know some people didn't really like them, but I think most people did. Personally, I really like them. I also watched the original Star Trek series, and seeing as it's the same director, I hope he makes a really good job of this and maybe tones down on the lens flares a little bit. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos from me, then please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you. Bye.